Hello, what's going on? So the press conference is coming up, right? At 1 o'clock? I mean, I think I have a link to it, but does anybody have a for sure link? I mean, I have a site that was just playing another press conference. If you got a link, put it in the chat there. A backup one. I've got one that Ada sent me that looks like it's the right one, but you know, you never know.
The case.
Yeah. See, earlier this guy was on. Oh, well, you can't see it yet. Hold on. Right here, this guy. He's an attorney.
That's why we're really here today. Because that case is to be decided. That appeal, the county's appeal, is to be decided on January 21st of this year. They know they're about to lose. And this is the only reason in the police department put in new people with new voices.
Yeah. I skipped that ahead about 5 minutes and it sounded like it fit perfectly together. So does anybody have the link for sure? Because it's supposedly, this seems like a good bet that it's going to be on this Facebook page. But I don't really know for sure. And I also have the Gilgo Beach Facebook page. So I guess we'll see. And apparently there's a press conference coming up with new information on the Long Island serial killer case, as it's called. Yeah, he was just some attorney for, I think, Shannon Gilbert, his family. All right, let me grab that one too. Okay, do you think it'll be on that one, Gritty Grit? Guess we'll just try to get lucky here. I always get happy when I have a video of them setting up mics and so forth. That's when I feel comfortable. Well, the Long Island serial killer case is one. It's about, I don't know, 10 years ago-ish. Shannon Gilbert went missing, and then when the police were looking for her, they ended up finding all these bodies along the Gilgo Beach area, and they haven't discovered out why or who put those bodies there. They know the names of many of them, but there's still some unidentified victims. The one that bothers me the most is the mother with the baby, or not a baby, but a toddler, and they even have earrings and jewelry that the toddler wore, and the mother, and nobody's come forward to say, "Oh yeah, I know who that is." I mean, that just seems really strange to me. There's also an Asian male that they haven't identified, and I think another one too. I wouldn't say I'm an expert of any kind. I made a video on it a long time ago, just showing where the bodies were located on this highway right here. They even have, as I was showing last night, if you drive down, there's little markers on the side of the road that literally have the name and which victim was found where. So if anybody has a link, for sure, put it in the chat there. Yeah, no, I got the News 12, but it doesn't, you know, where do you go on there? Is it just going to play on the main screen? Thanks, Barbara Smith. Yes, Tiffany, we're waiting, okay? It's a press conference. Hello.
Thank you for all you do.
Okay. Well, I won't put it on the. Well, thank you. I won't put it on the screen. I think I have that. Let me see. Maybe I don't have that one. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. If you send me links, you can't send me. I'm not using a cell phone. So when you have the M dot period, it looks strange. But yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, see the other clip from earlier. But when somebody goes live on one of these Facebook pages, does it just automatically pop up on the screen, or what? How does that work? I don't use it. I don't use Facebook that much. Hey, thanks CCK and Golden One. Yeah, I've got that same link already. Thank you. I don't know what you're talking about, Danette. Okay, well. Like, for example, this is what News 12 looks like, right? Nothing, you know, there's nothing live. This is an older video, you know how you can move it forward and that kind of thing.
Any other states, they caught the Golden State serial killer for one.
Attorney John Ray has been involved in the Gilgo Beach investigation from the start. He represented Shannon Gilbert's family. It was the search for Shannon back in 2010
that
led to
little
the other bodies.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have an account there, so. Yeah, what a dumb little button. It's like, why not make it red where it makes you think, oh, it's a live button, not just blue like the rest of it. Yeah, no. I'm hoping it shows up on this one, because that's where they were playing earlier, that other... Let's see what this one is. Yeah, we already got that one, Cairo. I can't log into it. And if we don't get there, sorry.
Developing news right now in New Jersey.
No. Wait, where's that sound coming from? Is it right here? Hold on. Yep. Okay, I think this is going to be it right here. Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide. Thank you for becoming a member. I hear them talking. I think they're going to cut the video here in a minute. If not, we'll get to hear it. I guess that's probably the most important part. Yeah, see, that's the same area they were searching right here. And if you were, if you ever seen this video that I made, if you go down to the, look at us doing that again. Yeah, I hate that shit. Yeah. I'm not sure why it's not working sometimes. The street view, if it has a blue line, you're supposed to be able to get into it. But oh, there you go. See, like right there, look. That might be Bartholomew. And there's a little cross right where she was found. And if you look at that, that looked kind of similar to the, you know, this right there.
Mic check. Ryan DeFilippis, Suffolk County Police Department. Today is, I don't even know, Thursday, January 16th. Oh, my phone is talking, my watch is talking to me now. 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. How's the sound? How's it going, everybody? And just so you guys know, once everything starts, I am going to make a beeline for that spot over next to Ed, so I'm going to kind of push everyone over.
I hope they have a video here in a minute. I wonder why they're requiring me to have an account when other people can just go watch it on that.
News 12? I was told you just have me live. I don't know. I'm not making any announcements. You shouldn't. Well, my friend told me.
Oh, God. Hey, thanks, Psycho Mom. Oh, there we go. Okay. Thank God. And don't, if the audio's too low, don't bitch about it, okay? Because that's just the way it is. You know what's scary is that it says Psycho Mom 1227. So does that mean there's 1,226 prior to you that are Psycho Moms? All right, let me see. Thanks, SEK.
Thanks for the stream.
The mics did sound a lot louder. Well, it's, I don't know what SEK is, like what the conversion rate is, but regardless, thank you. CC Cape said, "Oh, $100." I think it converts it before. It would have put a different color on that if that was $100. Oh, look at they cut away again. But definitely, it looks like they're going to have a. Well, thank you. I mean, that's really kind. Yeah. Well, I think they're just, it's not going live yet, so they're just sort of, I don't know why they're turning off the feed.
James, you're not going to go out and take the picture? She's saved. You okay? They won't go any higher? No. But Dad,
look. Thanks, Sooner History. Are you saying that I'm an op? Oh my God, they've been saying that on the Kanika channels forever. Look at that, man. It's like a cyborg hippopotamus. I don't know. Probably more likely a prostitute that had a child with her. Hey, thanks, Renee. Another freak family member. Yeah, I might have. Maybe I'll have Perplexed on my like members and Patreon only, so you can tell us all about the pagans. I mean, it might, who knows? I mean, every once in a while, some of the weird stuff turns out to be true. Okay, but I just don't. I try not to entertain it unless the evidence points right to it. Thank you, Dottie-O, Caspian Horses Rock. Look at that, bear's dancing in those weeds back there. Crazy. Yeah, the whole Shannon Gilbert scenario was kind of weird too. That, I mean, just that story alone is a weird one. And the killer in the Long Island serial killer case actually taunted the family members too. He would call later and speak to them like a true psycho. It's funny how people always say they're here from another channel. I don't think I've ever said that before. But yes, John Lorden, I think is probably the best, actually, the true crime video maker channels. The ones that make the videos on. I do a live show, so I'm different than those channels that make the videos. We cover cases live on the air and work through them. I got a comment today that says, 27 seconds in and you're still not talking about... And I'm like, yeah, because I'm waiting for people to show up. It's a live show. As a matter of fact, it might be 10 minutes. Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Gray, for all you do.
Well, thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I would first like to introduce Suffolk County Police Commissioner Geraldine Hart. She is joined by Suffolk County District Attorney Timothy Sini, First Deputy Commissioner James Skopek, Chief of Department Stuart Cameron, Chief of Detectives Gerard Gigante, and the Commanding Officer of the Homicide Section, Detective Lieutenant Kevin Byrer. After the Commissioner and District Attorney make their remarks, we will take a few questions. We will also distribute a transcript of the Commissioner's remarks at the end of the conference. Please keep in mind that due to the nature of this investigation, the Commissioner will not comment on statements made by prior administrations, nor comment on possible suspects, additional evidence, or specifics in this investigation. And due to the number of media here during the Q&A, I would just ask that you raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Thank you. Commissioner?
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. The Gilgo Beach investigation is perhaps the most well-known and complex that this department has ever undertaken. It is important that the families of these murder victims know that we remain steadfast in our commitment to deliver justice, and in doing so, give a sense of closure. In our continued effort to advance this investigation, today we are sharing information with the public that we hope will shed new light on this investigation. In a few minutes, I will release a photograph of a previously undisclosed piece of evidence found at one of the crime scenes. We understand the value of information provided by the public that could assist us in this case. That is why we are launching a website dedicated exclusively to the Gilgo Beach investigation. GilgoNews.com is a platform to better facilitate an information exchange with the public, where the department will, when appropriate, release information as well as provide an additional avenue for the public to submit a tip. And finally, I will update you on a scientific technique that we are utilizing that we hope will move this case forward. Before I get into specifics, let me review the chronology of what has brought us here today. It has been more than 9 years since Suffolk officers searching along Ocean Parkway for Shannon Gilbert, who had been reported missing months earlier, discovered the first set of remains belonging to Melissa Bartholomew on December the 11th of 2010. A further search of the area 2 days later led to the discovery of 3 more bodies: Amber Lynn Costello, Megan Waterman, and Maureen Baynard Barnes. The search for Shannon continued, and in March of 2011, the remains of Jessica Taylor were located, nearly 8 years after Taylor's partial remains were located in Manorville in July of 2003. 3 more sets of remains were discovered on April the 4th of 2011. Jane Doe number 6, whose partial remains were previously located in Manorville in November of 2000. The remains of an unidentified female toddler believed to be approximately 2 years old, who, through DNA testing, has been identified as the daughter of a woman whose remains were located in Nassau County. And finally, an unidentified Asian male believed to be between 17 and 23 years old. A week after these 3 sets of remains were found in Suffolk, the remains of 2 additional victims were located in Nassau, including the toddler's mother. Police continued their effort to locate the woman whose disappearance had initiated this search, and on December the 13th of 2011, the remains of Shannon Gilbert were located in Oak Beach. Today, we are launching a website dedicated to sharing information with the public about these unsolved murders and also providing a new way for the public to provide us with tips. To that end, we are asking the public to carefully consider the information provided on the website and whether they may have any information that could bring this case forward. As appropriate, we will share additional information via the website with the hope that with its release, the public will generate new tips and
That's
new
why we're
investigative
really
leads. The website will be dynamic with evolving content posted over time. From the onset, there will be a section to enable the submission of tips anonymously should the tipster choose so. Today, we are releasing the first piece of new information that will be featured on the website. A significant piece of evidence found at one of the crime scenes along Ocean Parkway. A black leather belt embossed with the letters HM or WH was recovered during the initial stages of this investigation. We believe that the belt was handled by the suspect and did not belong to any of the victims. We are not providing the specific location where the belt was found.
Maybe you can get DNA.
And additional information on this item will not be available at this time. However, we do anticipate releasing photographs of the belt via gilgonews.com when appropriate. We are hopeful that this photograph will bring somebody forward with information about the origin of that article. In addition to this newly released image, we are optimistic that scientific advances will also bring new information to light. We have leveraged the expertise of our federal partners and are utilizing new scientific advances to expand our investigative capabilities. We were granted approval by the New York State Department of Health and have provided the FBI with DNA samples from our unidentified victims for the purpose of conducting genetic genealogy.
I've been saying this for a year now.
The process includes uploading DNA to public genealogy databases in an effort to identify possible relatives of our unidentified victims. It is not clear how long this process will take. Information about the possibility of other DNA collected during the investigation will not be discussed. Even with these advances in technology, we know that the public remains one of our greatest resources. I encourage anyone who may have information to submit a tip, even if you wish to remain anonymous. The new website can be accessed at gilgonews.com. You can also submit a tip to Crime Stoppers by visiting p3tips.com, and Crime Stoppers can also be reached at 1-800-220-TIPS. There has been a tremendous amount of effort put into solving this case, and I can tell you that everyone involved is motivated by one goal: to deliver justice to these victims and to give them some sense of peace and some sense of closure. Before we take questions, our Suffolk County District Attorney, Timothy Sini, will address the media. Before he does so, I want to thank him for his partnership. Him and his team have been committed, and together we are all committed to solving these homicides. Thank you.
Okay, just hold on a second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hart.
Let me try this.
To assist us in
Is that
this
louder?
very important investigation. Chief Cameron has detailed the amount of work that has gone into this investigation
Is that louder
in
for you
the
guys?
past, starting with the initial searches. The amount of work that has gone
It's only
into
out of the
this
left
case
side, though.
is perhaps unprecedented. And as the commissioner said, we remain committed to obtaining justice in this case. And lastly, and some of you may have never heard me say this, I want to thank the media. The partnership with the media is very important. I can't tell you how many times when I was police commissioner and now that I'm DA, where the media's coverage of injustices, crimes, and other issues in the community have helped us obtain justice. Whether it's our local papers, our local news stations, and I want to thank all of you for paying attention and providing the attention and coverage that these matters deserve. I'll close with just thanking the police commissioner and the Suffolk
Feels
County
like the
Police
belts
Department
just sort of
for
like
their
to
tremendous
appease
work
people.
on this
Like, come on,
investigation.
really?
My office remains committed to doing everything we can to solve these murders. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll open it up for questions. Here you go. Yes. So we are constantly evaluating the investigation. We're looking at the steps that we've taken. We're looking at the technology that's available at the time. And we made a decision as a team that now is the time to
They could have his
release this
DNA.
information. Yes, Nicole. The suspect. So I'm not going to get into the specifics on why we do indeed believe that, but we do believe that this item was handled by the suspect and did not belong to any of the victims. Yes.
Probably wrapped around her body in some way.
So I will tell you that it's embossed on the belt. It is for the public to assist us in that determination. Yes. So that's something that I'll get into today, but I will say that we believe the suspect handled the belt. Yes. Nothing regarding other scientific techniques are going to be discussed today. Yes. So it's important as an investigative team that we keep our mind open to all avenues and don't particularly marry ourselves to one theory of the investigation. We go where the facts lead us, so we do not speculate or come across with a determination such as that before the facts indicate so. Again, we keep our mind open as investigators and make sure that we go where the facts take us.
What would you ask the people who have already given tips over the last 9 years? We've heard from people who say they've called in tips, they've called the FBI, and it's gotten nowhere. Would you ask them now to repeat this process with the new website?
So I'll begin by saying that the effort that's been put into this case is extraordinary, and I also want to echo the district attorney and commend our detectives that are working on this case, commend the agents that are now partnering with us, and I will tell you that we continue to always take every lead seriously and run it down accordingly, and I would encourage the public, if they know anything, even if they think it's insignificant, it may be a piece that fits into a broader picture that we could utilize. So I'd encourage the public to always come forward. Yes. We collected it at the initial stage of the investigation. At the initial stage, right, of the investigation.
Yeah, why wouldn't you release that earlier? That's sort of... Why are you waiting 9 years, they say? Or asking. Why did you sit on it for 9 years?
So again, a case is always evaluated based on the facts on the ground and what's going on. We're constantly reevaluating. We're constantly trying new techniques. Science and technology are moving forward at a mind-boggling pace, and we're making sure that we're constantly keeping up with it and utilizing technology to the best of our ability. We have decided now to leverage social media, obviously with the website, and put information out there.
Someone might have recognized the belt
with a piece of information
10 years ago, more likely than now. Okay.
Right. So the actual letters are approximately 1/2 by 1/2 inch. So that is dramatically, obviously increased. And embossed is, you know, is it stamped?
Yeah,
is
but
it,
how do you even know he was using his own
we're
belt?
We're not certain. So what we want is the public's help on that.
Okay, can you say if the
I'm sorry. I said that it was located on a belt. That was my statement. That we recovered? Yes, and we'll be releasing photographs of that.
Have you been able to trace its origins, where it was manufactured?
So again, I'm putting out information about the belt, which I've stated already. It's a black leather belt found at one of the initial stages of the investigation. So we will be using gilgonews.com to facilitate an information exchange with the public.
Don't tell them where the belt was bought.
Today? So again, I just want to emphasize that this website is now
I guess that
going to
would be something only the killer would have known.
an avenue for us to assist us in facilitating information sharing with the public. So that will now be a platform for us to utilize.
did this new technology that the Department of Health has let you use, did that play a factor in why you're releasing this today?
So that's something I'll comment on.
Why not release the 911 tapes of Shannon Gilbert?
So as you know, a judge ruled on the 911 tapes. We have appealed that ruling, and we'll obviously be guided by the appellate division's decision.
But why appeal the verdict? Why do you not want those 911 tapes released to the public?
So we consider it part of the investigation, and we're making sure that we're protecting the investigation.
No, but you said it wasn't related, remember?
As we do with every piece of evidence.
There you go. Right.
So we don't. We're not necessarily certain. We don't think she matches.
The next person did that. Asked that same
of the
thing.
Gilgo Beach homicides. As you know, the medical examiner has determined that it's actually undetermined. They do not know whether it's natural causes.
Some good questions
or
in
the cause
there.
of a criminal act. So we are moving forward based on that. So we've constantly said, and I can tell you at least for the time that I've been involved with this investigation since 2015, that she does not match the pattern of the Gilgo Beach homicides. But again, I want to emphasize to everybody here, we let the facts dictate where we're going to go with this investigation. It's very dangerous to speculate or come to conclusions before all the investigation is completed and the evidence is reviewed.
I mean, I agree with that.
So again, it was found at the crime scene. It should be live. What happens is.
Were they walking away already?
So I'm not giving information on the size of the belt.
You're not going to say what the size of the belt is? Ah, God. Now, I guess that would lead to a bunch of speculators. Oh my God, it was a size 32. I know this guy named Jim who's got a size 32. Oh, put his picture out there. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's it.
She does not match the pattern of the Gilgo Beach homicides. But again, I want to emphasize to everybody here, we let the facts dictate where we're going to go with this investigation. It's very dangerous to speculate or come
They're
to
going to release
conclusions
pictures of the
before
belt.
all the investigation is completed and the evidence is reviewed.
Commissioner,
was that a new belt or an older belt? Did it look like it was brand new, or did it look like old belt? Like.
So again, it was found at the crime scene.
It's almost like she just feels so cool to have information and can't share it. Yeah, I get some of the part where you only want the killer to know, but
It should be live.
only the killer knew if it was a new belt or not. Ooh.
So I'm not giving information on the size of the belt.
Okay. We're not even going to tell you what the size of the belt is, because all we really want you to do, everybody, you are only going to be looking at the letters, and if you recognize that as somebody that wore that belt in the past. Okay? But here's the thing is, there's no way to know if the killer didn't just use a belt of a victim that we've never even heard of? Who the hell knows? I mean, you think, I mean, let's just put it this way. That killer seems like he knew what he was doing. Nobody found those bodies for years. Some of those bodies are over 20 years old, I think. You think he's going to leave a belt with his own monogram on it? Like just around the body? So that's how they know it was used by the killer, because it was wrapped around, you know, it was obviously wrapped around a body part, or, you know, maybe even around the neck bone, you know, the neck vertebrae. You know, who the hell knows? But I think that's why they know the killer used it, because it was fashioned around a body in such a way that only the killer would have done. And then they probably went and asked the family member of one of the identified people. That's where the belt was found, on one of the identified victims. And they asked the family member, do any of you recognize this belt? And they go, no, that's not hers. So then they are now believing that the belt was put on her by the killer. However, the you know, whose belt it really was, we don't know. But it'd be interesting for somebody to come forward and say, oh my God, that was Marvin Webster from he was a friend of mine. Yeah, he went missing 2 years ago. And then you'd have another victim possibly that you could associate with it. But I'd be shocked out of my mind. Well, I mean, there are really dumb criminals out there. This guy doesn't seem like one of them, or who, you know, there could be more than one. Who knows? Maybe there was like a dumping ground that certain trucker types or whatever knew about, and they would just dump bodies there over time. And they would talk about, hey, yeah, you know, but apparently a lot of them had burlap sacks, and so that would make them related. They were found inside of burlap bags. Burlap. Oh, there goes my stomach. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. You know, let's get sleuthing on the MW, everybody. All right, but it's good to know that they're going to be doing genealogy, which has been mentioned for a long, long time on this channel, at least. That why haven't they used that on the victims that are unidentified, especially the mother and the child? I mean, my God, that just, you got to do that right away. Okay, everybody. I appreciate everybody coming on here, and the people who joined the channel, and super chats. Hold on, let me see.
Love the freak leader.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we've got Vadeb 57 is a new member. Barbara Smith is did a super chat. Golden One super chat. CCK. Then Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide, became a member. Psycho Mom 1227, which means there's 1,226 other Psycho Moms out there. She became a member. Angie Hart super chat. Sooner History super chat. Thank you very much. Renee Folk became a member. Dottie O. Caspian Horses Rock super chat. Con P and Barbara Smith again for super chats. Thank you very much. And yes, this is a monetized channel where I actually, you know, it's monetized. I'm not ashamed of it, all right? It's this is what I do. I spend a lot of time after, you know, in the evenings putting shows together and doing them. All right? So let's see. What was there anything that came through that I on PayPal that I didn't see? Nope. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Looks like they released some incredible new information about a belt with an MW on it. But the cool thing about it is there are some people out there that are really, you know, that want to spend all those hours looking up the manufacturers and so forth. They might actually be able to identify, you know, the belt, and then somebody might come forward and say, I know who that is, and it might actually lead to something. Okay, so it actually, you know, might be a pretty big piece of information. I think the odds of those being the killer's initials are low, but You never know. Every once in a while, killers do stupid things. You'd think they'd be able to... Well, I guess they don't know if he's left or right-handed, so the belt would flip over in that case, right? So that's why they're saying it's either HW or MH. But I would say, if you look at it and you can determine the right-handed angle, that's probably more likely, because most people are right-handed, right? And that would mean that the buckle would be on the left side. And then maybe look at that. So that would be the most likely. Yeah, I mean, it does look pretty recognizable, although they said they're only a ½ inch. You know, the initials are only a ½ inch. And where were they? Were they on the back? Or were they easy to see? You know, that's really small. Now, if they're really big and took up the whole belt, I could see somebody recognizing it. But it's going to be really low chance. A low chance, I think. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for showing up today. Let me go back to the regular screen, and you can see Chloe laying there, just absolutely oblivious of the world, as she is most of the day, except when I do my show at night. She seems to come alive and wrestle and make the loudest noises in the history of the world during my show. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's like right when I start doing the show at night, her and Blue start wrestling and just barking and yapping, and you know, I guess you'll see it. Yeah, cats. Well, at least I'm not up at 3 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. I'm just ending shows most of the time. Yeah, I don't mind them playing. That's why I don't stop them. Sometimes if I had a guest on, like today, I turned off the during the press conference. I got rid of the I think it's like a window that you open up that allows all the messages to come on the screen. So okay, well, that's it. We'll see you guys later, and thanks again for joining the stream, everybody. And not a ton of new information, but there's a belt with an MW or a, what was it, WH or whatever the hell it was. Anyways, talk to you guys later, and until next time, be safe out there.